Hello everyone, my name is Abhay Gupta. I am the founder CEO of Luxury Connect and Luxury Connect Business School. We are a very specialized organization that focuses on everything to do with the luxury industry. We go across sectors. We work with fashion, jewelry, watches, travel, aviation, automobiles, you name it. And we work with all the sectors for the consulting and strategy needs. And in order to support our strategic advice, we also created India's first and only luxury business school so that we are able to provide to the industry not only Gyan, but also people who can execute the Gyan. So we are a 10-year-old organization and we run educational programs from short track to mid track to weekend programs to full-time MBA equivalent PG diploma programs. About 3,000 executives and students have been touched upon by us. And claim to fame would be the CMO Lamborghini is my student on an all India basis. And CMO North India Lamborghini is also my student, all India basis. Rolex is managed by my students. Tiffany is managed by my students. So my students have today penetrated most of the sectors that one can perceive of. We partner with organizations like a Delhi Duty Free Shop, Reliance Brands, etc. for their long-term training and learning and development needs, where we customize programs as per the brief given by their L&D team, and we create programs ranging from 1 week to 6 months duration. So that's a small introduction to us. The reason why I'm here at this conference is on the specific invitation of the Credenc and the Observe Now team, and I must give full credit to Credenc for their persistence in terms of following up, meeting up in person, ensuring that people turn up and doing a wonderful job. So the panel that I participated in was the first panel. It was a fantastic panel in terms of the role of education in society, in terms of how the cost is getting affected due to digitization, etc. And we had some wonderful discussion led by Tanya Tikku of Observe Now. So, I have almost 30 years experience in the luxury space in India. In fact, I entered the fashion business in 1990 when the country was opening up and liberalization was happening. The first brand to come into the country was Lacoste. Then I got sucked into this trade for my engineering skills, and they needed somebody with multi-engineering skills to come and establish the factory and do the technology transfer. So I come from a marine engineering background, and that's why I got pulled into this, and then I set up a factory for them. I ran the factory for them. I became GM manufacturing, managing 1,000-odd workers. And then I moved on to another plant, which was an Italian-based plant. So I did that for the first 5-6 years of my life in this space, being on the technology transfer and production manufacturing part of it. Subsequently moved on to bring international luxury brands into India. And last, before I gave up my corporate life, I was heading Versace. I brought Versace into India, Corneliani, you name it. I mean, some of the best brands were brought by me. I was heading them from technology transfer to retail, and their scale-up model in India was completely handled by me. When I opened stores across the country from Bangalore to Calcutta, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Delhi, I was heading 32 stores, and the common challenge denominator was talent. And I realized that talent is the missing link, and if I can focus on talent, I can be a consultant with a difference rather than just being a consultant who's giving strategy. So everyone with a senior corporate experience becomes a consultant beyond a point in time. So I needed to be a consultant with a difference, and hence I thought if I focus on the weak area of talent, I will have a very strong differentiator. And that's how the birth of India's first and only luxury business school took up. That's a passion project for us. I personally enjoy that space, and I deliver lectures. I've written a book on the Indian luxury space. I do research papers. My papers are carried by the best publications worldwide, including Forbes and including LVMH, SMU kind of textbooks. So I'm quoted very heavily in the media when it comes to Indian luxury. Generally do the trend forecast for every year, and now working on trend forecast for 2022 on the insistence of an international Paris-based publication. So that's the reason why I got into education and wanting to gain knowledge and disperse knowledge so that we have a higher consumer base of luxury in India. So that's really my focus. So I believe the education space in India is not really participating well with the industry. So one change we brought in our business school was that initially, of course, like all B schools, we experimented by bringing a normal academic teacher panel onto us, which was quite expensive to engage for us. But very soon we realized that what we wanted to deliver to the student was not happening using only academics as delivery lecturers. So we soon switched the model to bring all industry practicing professionals to come and deliver the lectures. So we facilitate the delivery by designing the content and focusing on the content that we want, which is in line with the program. And we give ready lectures to the industry practitioner, so he doesn't waste time on preparing for the lecture. He comes and delivers and adds his real-time experience, what is happening today, say for example in the logistics industry, how digitization changed. So he is able to bring in those real-time practices into the lecture, which the students really enjoy. So in the panel we were talking of entertainment, we were talking of participation. That happens only when the student is able to visualize as to what is really happening on the ground today and not just theory. So that's one difference that we brought in. It's been a successful model for the past 6 odd years, and that is leading to placements and great jobs. And as I said, some of my students are working with brands like a Cartier, groups like Richmond, groups like a Lamborghini, etc., only because they got noticed by the delivery practitioner during the course of delivery of the program. So he was able to spot the particular student while he was delivering the lecture, and he asked for that particular student when the student finished the program. So I think that's the best model for education institution, that where the academia partnership is so strong that the industry is able to actually spot and groom the student that they really want. So we are now getting onto a relationship where we actually create modules for the luxury real estate industry in partnership with the real estate players. So he tells us what is lacking in the skill sets of the professionals available in the trade. So we design a program accordingly. So our onward journey is doing programs for automobile, for real estate, for fashion, for beauty, health and fitness, hospitality, etc., so that we actually produce industry-ready professionals who can go and help expand the industry at a very rapid pace. I think the future of education in India is only upwards, and India has always been, Indian parent has been very, very risk averse. He has been trying to divert his student towards very set program. But I see with the Gen Z emerging, the Gen Z is very, very much on his own mind. They decide what they want to do, and they actually are able to convince their parent, which is a Gen Y or a Gen X. So hence the acceptance towards new programs is a far more higher as compared to when we were children. So we had to be led by what our forefathers said to do the programs. Now with a variety of programs available, the parent realizes that he does not have the skills to really analyze and understand those new generation programs. And he goes by what his ward is wanting to suggest. So I think that's really where the future of education lies, that we will eventually produce students who actually create their passion or their hobby into a profession. So I think Credenc is a great model, and we have had a chat even in my office, and today we met your founders as well. So I think it's a great model because it's trying to democratize the funding industry to a set of audience which has been debarred from raising money for education by the preset models that exist in the country. So that's a very large audience, and that very large audience, if it is serviced well and if it is segmented further, I think the future is really, really bright. And I think with the correct quality of education, the turnaround of the country is not very far, and a 5 trillion dream that Modi ji is wanting to look at can only happen with not only industry but also a set of talent. And we have been talking of employability rather than employment. So I think that's where the focus needs to be, and I think Credenc can play a great role there.